What's up, YouTube? It's Brad with Carnivore Experiment, and I am just making another video to kind of just reach out to anyone who's interested in kind of my journey or what I'm doing, what I want to bring this channel to. So I mentioned in my other videos, the majority of these are going to be really informal videos. I don't really have time or frankly, editing talent to make super beautiful composed videos, but I try on some of them. If you look some of my older videos at Keto Eats, I would put a little bit more production emphasis and stuff into them, and I intend to do that on this channel as we explore the journey and kind of what the lifestyle is. So I'll be able to put up some pictures, especially if you follow me on Twitter, well, X. If you follow me on X, if you follow me on Facebook, the Carnivore Experiment. I also have this YouTube channel, and I try to stay quite active on the Instagram and Facebook platforms specifically, as well as YouTube. So YouTube will be used for my video medium, mostly try and get some more communication, long-winded, as well as some shorts. And then I'll use Instagram, Facebook, X for more of the documentation of images and stuff like that. So when I post, so for example, when I'm posting weight fluctuations or actual like blood pressure, or when I talk about my blood panel / urine analysis, that kind of stuff, those will probably be more detailed on Facebook. And I actually have a website that I'm working on building as well, kind of like a blog style. So I just kind of want to see where this goes. A little backstory on me. I'm 39 years old. I've been overweight my whole life, mostly. 5th grade on was when I really started to gain weight. And I went through a period where I had some great success, actually. Probably 7 years ago, I'll have to share some photos. I was in the best shape of my life, and I was doing a keto lifestyle. That's where the Keto Eats came from. I used to check my blood sugar against, my blood sugar and ketone results against what manufacturers would suggest. And some of the results are interesting because things that people claim to be keto I would find would kick me out of ketosis. I would get a blood sugar response or an insulin response, and then be out of ketosis for a period of some time on some things and others. So I thought that was fun. I used to work out at a gym all the time. Great community there, a place in Grand Rapids that I love, and all that to say, I tore my ACL in the summer of 2017. I believe it was 2017. 2019. It was 2019. It was the year before COVID. So 2019 was the year. I tore my tore my ACL that summer. It really just made me immobile for a little while. I kind of I kept up the keto lifestyle, but I gave up the physical working out lifestyle, just obviously because I did a little more laying around and became complacent, fell into some old habits. But ultimately for me, what really was the nail in the coffin was COVID. So 2020, coming out of 2019, not physically active. 2020, early, I started to just kind of have a little bit more food scarcity, have a little bit more difficulty getting things. You guys that remember that, you couldn't buy toilet paper, eggs were hard to find, beef went through the roof, just silly things like that I just decided to say, hey, I'm gonna eat whatever I can get. And then, I fell off back into the standard American diet, back into just not caring, back into old habits, and I moved across the country with my family. We relocated to Florida. And there's pros and cons with that when you move, but there's a lot of things that become life. And in my mind, being strict about my food or eating or caring about my health really just took a back seat, to be honest. There really is no other way to put it. And fast forward a couple years, not working out, not eating right, drinking too much alcohol, eating too much junk food, back to processed foods. I always have struggled with that, just a sweet tooth in general. I've always, I drank a lot of soda and I ate a lot of Oreos, just stupid things like that, right? But the thing is, as I get older, I'm starting to kind of reflect on the things and my mental health and my physical health and the things that really should matter to me. Obviously, family, faith. I'm not super religious, but I do believe in God. There's things to me that are important, and being an honest man, being a father, being a husband, being a solid employer, a team player. Those kinds of things are very important to me, and health has always kind of taken a back seat. So I'm trying to prioritize that a little bit with this channel, and this is something that really helps me be accountable. But not only accountable, I really want to document and share the experience, because so many of our experiences as we go through these communities with transformations and keto, carnivore, even vegans, whatever. I don't subscribe to their beliefs, but most people tend to post results or videos after they have a response or after they have a success story. Partly, I think, because of fear of failure, and partly because I think they don't realize what journey they're on until they're already pretty far into it. And so, with me being a pretty analytical, type A, just data junkie. I wear a Dexcom G7, and I'm not diabetic. I subscribe to levels. I'm probably on my way to pre-diabetic. That's part of the reason that the carnivore lifestyle has really, been speaking to me. My blood sugar levels tend to stay fairly high. My sugar responses and stuff aren't good. I tend to hold water really bad, tons of inflammation, obviously weight, visceral fat is very high. It's where I carry the majority of my fat is in my stomach, and on my thighs, but in my stomach. You see my videos that I post with weekly body image updates, just to kind of track progress. There's no real, I have the goal of losing 60 pounds in 6 months before I'm 40, and that's because I feel like you should always have a goal to be working towards. And I do think it's a tall order, but I think it's attainable if I'm accountable to myself and I keep to this lifestyle. I know that I'll lose 10 pounds of water weight, no problem. 50 pounds of fat essentially is what you're working on in 6 months there. Tall order, but if I get into more of the healthy habits and working out, and I have been staying carnivore, and I plan to stay carnivore, and the other thing, the future things that opens up are really great. The opportunities are endless as far as that goes, and the sharing, for me, helping people is really what it's all about. And right now, early in the journey, I only have a few followers, and I only have a few people that I'm engaging with, and I don't really know a lot about it myself. I've read the books, I follow Paul Saladino, I follow Sean Baker, I listen to a lot of their stuff, I've read the books, I've experimented with carno and keto in the past. I've done a lot of analysis on my responses to things, and I really believe that the carnivore way is the way that's going to help me stop being so up and down, the constant feeling like just garbage, the constant brain fog. I'm a person who struggles with ADHD and anxiety and some depression. The depression doesn't really bother me too much, but anxiety and ADHD certainly does. And from a lot of the research and stuff I've done, that those things are affected by diet as well. And so here I am taking an anti-anxiety medication, and I don't take Adderall because I want to avoid the stimulants, so I don't take anything for the ADHD directly, which is difficult for me because I have a tendency to to let it impact me on occasion. But I'm hoping that this journey on lifestyle changes will positively influence that, and I'm hoping to document that along the way. And if I can help just one other person along with myself, that really makes this all worth it for me. I spend a little bit of time and a little bit of money making these videos, and I like to document myself along the way. So there's the Dexcom G7. I subscribe to Levels Health. I use their platforms. I pay, I've subscribed to that stuff. I pay that money out of my pocket. I'm happy to do it. It's something I would do myself anyways. I just like to have the data. And the way that I see it is, if I like to have the data, if I'm the kind of person that really wants to see it, then there are people out there like me who want to see it as well. And maybe some don't know about it, or maybe some can't, afford it. I mean, this stuff is fairly expensive to subscribe to. Over time, it adds up and it adds up. So if I can share those, and again, everybody's body is different, everybody's experience is different, everybody's walk of life is different. But if I can share my experiences and how things impact me and document it along the way, that's really my goal. And I want to build a sense of community with my peers as well. I've seen, since I've been on a couple of Facebook groups, especially like the World Carnivore Tribe, is great. I mean, the responses that I've been getting there from people as we engage just with questions, yesterday I had a blood sugar, I went hypoglycemic for a little while, so I had a blood sugar just dip that was, I got a little bit of a headache, I felt a little tired. It was a direct response to, I believe, I don't want to really get in trouble for showing any brands, but Celsius. I love Celsius. Big fan, love it. In my opinion, it's one of the better energy drinks that you can drink. If you're going to drink an energy drink, I don't know that it's good for you. I would make a case that it's not good for you, actually. Tomato. Certainly not carnivore, right? As far as clean carnivore goes, or traditional, carnivore in the sense of the word. But I definitely, giving up alcohol, giving up, carbs and addicted to sugar. I mean, sugar is one of the most addictive substances known to man. Caffeine as well. And those things I've been hooked on. So no more drinking. I gave up alcohol. I'm 4 days in, and I'm sticking solid to that. I'm going to plan to go at least 6 months. So my birthday's January 20th. That's when I turn 40. That's when I'm going to do an analysis, and I'll probably have a whiskey on my birthday just because, but who knows? Maybe by then, after 6 months of not drinking, I might just find that not drinking is my new lifestyle, and I really enjoy that. So again, the goal of this video, or with this series, is to stay fairly informal and just talk about what I'm trying to do, what the journey is projected to be like, and then show what it actually is. So I'm not one of those guys that's going to keep it a secret when I drink a Celsius, or if I slip up or something happens, or something, some sort of experience that maybe I didn't want to show because I'm carnivore. No, that's not going to happen with me. I mean, I keep it real. I want to be honest. I want to keep it from a real life perspective, an N-of-1 experiment. This is an experiment of life for me. This is an experiment of life for, you. Not directly, because my journey is my journey, but you can relate, and you can see the struggles, transitions, the pros and the cons of everything along the way. And I'm going to try to share as much as I can, and I really hope that you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you want to see. I'm open to do anything. I've got glucose testing, I've got ketone testing, I've got urine and blood analysis testing. I'm going to start to review those in the coming days, weeks. One of my friends / followers on the carnivore group suggested that I do body measurements, so I'm going to try and do a seamstress tape measurement analysis of myself, because the scale is not the only thing that shows a measurement or a change, right? Sometimes we add muscle mass and we lose fat. Maybe the scale would say you gained weight, but you lost fat, so that's a net positive, right? Anyways, guys, I just wanted to reach out to you, let you know, keep you in the loop. Let me know, again, what your thoughts are, what you've struggled with. Let me know if there's any tips or tricks that have helped or worked for you on the carnivore lifestyle, the carnivore diet, so that I can use it on the carnivore experiment and help document the response. Like, subscribe, share, all that standard YouTube lingo, but more importantly, follow me. Ask me questions. Just let me know what you think. Engage. If you think I'm crazy, tell me I'm crazy. If you think this is awesome, tell me I'm awesome. You know, I love to engage with people, and I'll try to respond to every single comment that I get. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope to talk to you soon. Peace.